How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
Welcome to the podcast. If you'd like to listen to an ad-free version of this episode and all of our episodes, then search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. That's our premium channel where all of our ad-free and advanced episodes live, all in one place. True Crime Today Premium Plus. Search it on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. Even try it for 3 days free.
Sometimes the safest place is the most dangerous. You're tuned in to Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski, featuring psychotherapist and author Siobhan Scott.
The man allegedly behind the shooting of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, Luigi Mangione. That's who we're going to be talking about here. Siobhan Scott, psychotherapist and author, joining us. I want to dive into the psychology of this because that's the question everybody's going to ask. Why did he do this? A lot of people, not actually having a lot of sympathy for Brian Thompson in a weird kind of sick way. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. But the fact we have a 26-year-old University of Pennsylvania graduate, very well off, very connected family. I mean, the guy had a good future in front of him, but sometimes future and setting are no match for mental health and where that can possibly take one. And that's the question that we're trying to figure out. What was going on here with Luigi Mangione? What do we know so far about his background and leading up to this event?
Yeah, Ivy League education, valedictorian. I believe it was in high school, described by everyone as highly intelligent and overall a nice guy. Did have the history of a back problem. I'm not sure if it was congenital or from an injury. It could have been either. And had a major surgery a couple of years ago. And it's unclear how debilitated he was from that. We don't really have that information yet. It's possible that he did have chronic pain and subsequent problems, although in many social media pictures we've seen, he appeared to be quite fit and quite athletic. And apparently half the women in the country are in love with him at this point.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating.
That's a weird point about all of this he's hot. That's what I've been hearing from a lot of women. I mean, I'm not saying men haven't done it either. I mean, men have looked at, Jodi Arias and you name it in person here, who've been alleged to have committed crimes or been charged with crimes or have been, convicted of them and say some of the same things. Obviously there's that, but not really the profile of someone that we would think that, would go in off as CEO, and then to connect it directly to the back injury. I mean, people are just trying to figure things out. Does any of this connect together?
Yeah, no, I called this one. When I first saw the video footage the other day before he was captured, I said, it looked like a classic political hit. Mm-hmm. And I said, this is a young man in his 20s who's been influenced by extremist ideology of some sort that would justify violence as a way of making a statement to the world, particularly with the words that were written on the shell casings after he shot him. So it's extremist ideology, and that doesn't mean he's mentally ill at all. But it's kind of a classic, I'm an avenger, I'm helping society. You get a lot of virtue signaling with guys like this. And he was a big fan of the Unabomber. We know from his writings on Goodreads that he had read the Unabomber's written words and was a fan. And so I live in the Pacific Northwest. We have a lot of extremist ideology up here. We've got the far right, we've got the far left. And living in Portland, we've been in the news a lot, let's say over the last decade, also Seattle, with people fighting in the streets. And it's generally these young guys in their 20s. They identify either extreme, far left or far right, and they come out and they do battle. And each side, if you get into what they believe that they're doing the right thing and that they're saving the country. And, they don't accomplish anything. The violence doesn't help. It creates havoc in the community. But that was my call on this. There's no psychosis, possibly not even a personality disorder, though you do see often, particularly when they go for a big target like this, there's some narcissism. Because even though they say, I'm doing this for society, there's also a big element of look at me. And I think we definitely saw that here. We knew he was smart. He had planned this out meticulously. It wasn't flawless by any means. He wasn't a professional hitman, which some people were speculating about. But, this was clearly a bright guy. He wasn't a schizophrenic just wandering around with a gun. So I think when the entire manifesto that he wrote is revealed, he was taking on corporate America and just really wanted to make a statement. And he did make a statement.
If we're not talking about any sort of mental illness here, that was my next question. Was there a personality disorder at play? It seems that there would be something at play to not interpret reality on reality's terms, although maybe he was interpreting reality on reality's terms, just had a very different way of dealing with things. But that doesn't necessarily make you a psychopath. It just means that's a person who thinks this is right. This is just how it works for them. And that's the equation that comes out of it. And we see it very often in people that are of above average intelligence. Look at the Unabomber, genius. This guy probably also right up there. Almost, they're seeing things at a higher level. Not saying it's right by any means, but they're seeing things at a different level and a different perspective. Their prism, when it goes through, and the colors they're seeing are not the same colors we're seeing. And they're thinking something different.
I talk about extremism in my book quite a bit because there's a certain category of people who do mass killings. Some of the mass shootings have been by people with extremist ideology, and that's really been my focus in research. But they immerse themselves generally online. Again, if we had his internet history, you would find a lot of immersion in these extremist communities, and they identify with it. They read a lot of books on it. His Goodreads, choices are telling a lot. And it's sort of, we use the term radicalization. You see it with the suicide bombers who are not all mentally ill. Some are, but certainly not all of them. But they become so immersed in this reality and this belief system and this sense of I'm victimized somehow, or I'm standing up for the victimized people, and they virtue signal a lot. Look what I'm doing. I'm a martyr for the cause. And it's really a mindset, and it is a different reality than, what the average person inhabits.
And we talk about narcissism. Is someone doing this for the publicity, for the attention, or are they doing it because they believe they're doing what's right? And at the end of the day, they don't really care what happens to them because, obviously, you think you're probably going to get caught. At least I think most people would think that. That it's not going to end well for you. And if it's not going to end well for you, why would you go down that road? Why would you want that for yourself? Even though that's what holds, I think, a lot of people back from doing horrible things is the fact that it's not worth it. It's going to destroy my life. But at the same point, a lot of people are looking at this guy and seeing what he did and kind of going, oh, I get it. In a really weird, dark way. But if anyone looks at it, I'm not saying any of this is right, but you can kind of go, well, I think we all have known somebody who was screwed over by the healthcare industry or have had themselves screwed over by the healthcare industry and have gone through the hell or have seen people die because they didn't get the care they needed or they were denied or this or that. And that's in the thousands of people. This is one guy who was killed, the CEO. Yeah. So I think a lot of society is asking the question, why should we have any sympathy or empathy for this guy when he's the head of a corporation that actively kills people every single day? by denying coverage. At the same point, you can argue they save people every day too, because they're providing the means when they approve what is needed. You can kind of go back and forth on it. They're not all, I mean, there'd be people that would die if this didn't exist and people couldn't afford their care. That goes to another larger argument of healthcare coverage. But that's what people are thinking. That's why people are kind of like, oh, damn, he got caught. Speak to that a little bit and the mindset that you have literally a good chunk of the country feeling that way and not a lot of empathy if this was, you know, a school shooting or just some other random shooting.
Yeah, 100%. It is tapped into the rage across the culture about the healthcare mess that we have in this country, and so many people not insured at all. And it's just sort of been this laser focus, you know, for that anger, which I can understand. I've been angry at health insurance and the lack of, and had to do all kinds of extreme things to get coverage.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting target because really we have to look at politicians. For the reason that we have the mess and that we have these middle people like United Healthcare who are profiteering, are we going to start assassinating all the politicians who vote no on universal health care? Nobody's talking about that.
No.
But how do we make a decision on, oh, well, killing people to make a statement is okay. How do you decide, you know, who's the committee that decides who the appropriate targets are? And if we look at what causes harm in society, what causes millions of deaths a year, alcohol. Right? Alcoholism kills so many people. Are we going to go after the CEOs of companies that produce and market alcohol?
Sure.
Who gets to decide that? You know, Ted Kaczynski went after people who were involved with technology because he thought technology was ruining the country. Well, he made a decision, you know, so it's definitely a gray area if we go down the path of validating this. And one of my big concerns is copycatting.
Yeah.
Because humans are social creatures and psych books have been written about social contagion and copycatting. And if everybody, as they are online, is validating this now, and they've turned Luigi Mangione into a folk hero, other people are going to step up and take up the mantle and decide they want to be famous too. And I do think the wanting the attention is a part of it. But there's also this other immersion in ideology. And then if he did have his own personal history with United Healthcare, the personal rage about that. So it's really multiple factors that all come together that produce this. But I'm really worried about social contagion catching on here with this.
That's what I'm wondering about this one. Is this just the beginning of an avalanche of this sort of thing happening where you have vigilantes going out and taking out the evil corporate, you know, people or whoever they view as the enemy? Insert that here. Because, I mean, I feel like society is kind of at a breaking point right now in terms of their tolerance for BS and their ability to pull it in, too, and absorb it and go, oh, this sounds like a great idea. We seem to have both extremes that are very much active right now.
Yes.
I mean, and we've seen other societies where this sort of things happen, where things get kind of so bad and people take matters into their own hands because the systems that we have in place that are designed to prevent healthcare companies from going rogue like they have. And basically, you know, we heard the word death panels years ago, and that was going to be government. No, it's called an insurance company. It exists. Right. It always has. It's exactly what that is. Where people literally are finally just sick of it. And they're going to say, screw it. If our government can't fix this, if the right systems can't fix this, maybe some people high level dying will get attention. I mean, that's not a thing. It's a good thing. I'm not saying encouraging that, but it is concerning that, yeah, this is going to catch on and that type of thinking is going to continue. But I don't know how you really stop that avalanche of things unless the actual systems themselves that people are having such issues with that they're willing to kill over are corrected. I don't think we can just sit here and go, oh, it's the gun or it's the mind of the person, it's this or that. There's a reason people are being pushed this far.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really think what you're hitting on is the breakdown in our political system, which we're seeing, you know, everywhere. We're just seeing the system that's supposed to work, and the Supreme Court is, you know, basically they're taking bribes, certain justices, and our system is broken all across the board. Yeah. And ultimately, when it comes to healthcare, the politicians are the ones who are accountable for what is not working here, because certainly other countries make it work, or they at least make it work better than it does here.
Yeah.
And those are the folks that we need to hold accountable, because corporations are out to make a profit, and that's all of them. And it's up to the government to function well enough to rein them in and see that the people of the country are served. And our government is a mess right now.
Welcome to the podcast. If you'd like to listen to an ad-free version of this episode and all of our episodes, then search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. That's our premium channel where all of our ad-free and advanced episodes live, all in one place. True Crime Today Premium Plus. Search it on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. Even try it for 3 days free.
You're neck deep in a dark, twisted tale, and just as the tension peaks, bam, a commercial about some miracle diet pill breaks the spell. It's like finding a fly in your soup after the first bite. But here's the fix. True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. You get to enjoy your crime stories without the junk. Ad-free episodes, extended interviews that go beyond the surface, and early access to all the gruesome details. It's like swapping out a can of cheap beer for a glass of fine whiskey. So search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and keep the darkness flowing uninterrupted.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. And now I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free, and each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. People always say it's good to unwind, but that's easier said than done. The exception, Chumba Casino. They actually make it easier done than said, or at least the same. Chumba Casino is an online social casino with hundreds of casino-style games like slots and blackjack. Play for fun. Play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sign up now and collect your free welcome bonus at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Every day when you log into ChumbaCasino.com, the ultimate online social casino, you get a free daily bonus. Imagine if you got daily bonuses in other parts of your life.
I chose French fries over loaded French fries.
I asked Stuart from accounting about his weekend, even though I don't care.
I updated my operating system without having to call tech support.
Collect your free daily bonus at ChumbaCasino.com now. and live the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.